Before you keep scrolling, pause for a moment. Just a few seconds. I want to ask you something simple, but I want you to actually think about it before you answer. What's one thing you're grateful for today? Not last year, not when things were better, today. If nothing came to mind immediately, that's okay. That's actually why this conversation matters. We live in a world that is constantly telling us what we don't have, what we haven't achieved, what's missing, what could go wrong. And after a while, that noise becomes the default setting. But here's what the research tells us. Harvard Health has found that gratitude is directly connected to greater happiness, better emotional well-being, stronger relationships, and even better sleep. Not as a side effect, but as a result of the practice itself. And in one of the most well-known studies on this subject, researchers Robert Emmons and Michael McCullough found that people who regularly took time to focus on their blessings reported real emotional and interpersonal benefits. Not just in how they felt internally, but in how they showed up for the people around them. The Greater Good Science Center at Berkeley puts it plainly. Gratitude is associated with better psychological health, higher levels of happiness, and greater life satisfaction. These aren't small claims. This is consistent research pointing to something most of us already know intuitively, but rarely practice deliberately. The research is compelling, but gratitude isn't valuable simply because it helps us feel better. It's valuable because it helps us see more clearly. Gratitude works, but it has to be intentional. That's part of why Ignite House Atlanta started the Gratitude Bench. We show up at parks, college campuses, and community spaces across South Atlanta, and we ask people one simple question. What's one thing you're grateful for today? No agenda, no pressure, just a conversation. The most common answer we've heard so far is simple. Life, health, just being alive. For many of us, gratitude begins with recognizing the giver behind the gifts. When we remember where our blessings come from, thankfulness becomes more than a feeling. It becomes a way of seeing life. Sometimes gratitude doesn't change everything around you, but it can change what you notice. And what you notice shapes how you live. So here's what I want to leave you with. Gratitude is not something you wait to feel. It is something you choose to practice. But there's one part of gratitude we don't talk about enough. What about being grateful when things are not going well? When the job is gone? When the relationship is broken? When the diagnosis comes back and it's not what you hoped for? Gratitude in those moments is not weakness. It is not denial. It is a deliberate choice to govern your mind rather than be governed by your circumstances. It is choosing to stand on what is still true, even when your circumstances are difficult. Maybe it's another breath, someone who stayed, strength for one more morning. For many of us, those reminders point us back to God, the giver behind every gift. And sometimes, that's enough to help us take the next step. You may not wake up feeling thankful every day, but you can still pause, reflect, and recognize what has been given. Some people keep a gratitude journal. Some share one thing with a friend or family member each day. Some just take 60 seconds in the morning before the phone comes on. You don't need the perfect method. You need a consistent practice. That's how gratitude becomes more than a thought. It becomes a habit. At Ignite House, we believe a steadier life is built through small, intentional habits. And gratitude is one of the simplest and most powerful habits we know. The most common answer we've heard at the Gratitude Bench is simple. Life, health, just being alive. Maybe that's where gratitude starts. Not with having everything, but with recognizing the gifts that have already been placed in your life. So before you move on with your day, let me ask you one more time. What's one thing you're grateful for today? We'd love to hear your answer. This is Ignite House, and today I'm grateful you took a moment to watch.